Ладно, хоть не выблевался еще один раз. Так, мелкота, ну-ка, брысь вообще с моего места преступления. О, место... Что несу?
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid, then this is it. He's almost exquisite in his ugliness, like a gremlin.
Как карикатура.
Oh yeah, nappa comfy, Kuno.
Че девочки зовут? Ну, пару слов, пацан, по полицейскому делу. Ну, к твоего времени.
Right in the dick, Kuno. Get him right in the dick.
Не с тобой разговаривают.
Love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body.
Вместе хватит кидаться камнями.
Kuno, yeah, right in the mouthhole. The rake, Kuno. You should throw the rake at him.
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener.
Ким, это... Мы будем что-нибудь делать или ну его нафиг? Мы не будем
We
делать.
shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such forces. You will see.
Видите, вы двойняшка, что ли?
The fuck are you talking about?
He's calling us Kuno. He says we're fucking each other.
Замечательно. Слушай, у меня тебе пара
All right,
вопросов.
entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh?
Irregular speech patterns. Overconfidence. Could this kid be on drugs? This warrants further investigation into this. Kuno.
Я нашел твою лачугу.
You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000 years. How the fuck did you get in? And then what? You fucking there? You fucking Kuno's kingdom?
Да.
He's trying to fuck at you again, Kuno.
Что за тема с свиной тарелкой? Я нашел тарелку с остатками порошка.
That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of electric. Kuno Shazam. Kuno rides the fucking lightning in there, pig.
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired
Опять
and
директор химия
old,
пришла.
but you could have that sparkle in your eyes.
С крыши можно
Of
попасть
course
в
you
спорт?
fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just got a Kuno nose. Kuno and C saw you shit yourself. It's okay, pig. Not everyone can face the fear Kuno style.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a
Не
pansy.
будь циклом.
Just jump.
Это мой плащ висит.
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all that.
После какого такого?
Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno's not snitching.
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably saw you do it.
Интересно как?
Yet, that conclusively explains how the coat got up there.
Что за магном лам, Куна?
It's a vitamin, pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Магний, наверное.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game. Kuno goes through like a tube a day, rips mag like a motherfucker, and you could use a battle.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
Не приписывай ему волшебных свойств.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like you didn't do anything. Like you stayed home playing with your choo-choo.
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fucking die.
Угу.
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape.
Ты пытался мне на что-то намекнуть? ДМК. Крутая свиная башка. У меня тоже такая есть. Указать на свою голову, только она говно. Пытался на что-то намекнуть?
Yeah, to the both of you. Watch your ass in Kuno's town, or Kuno's gonna fuck your head off.
Понятно.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom.
Так. Кто такой Куна? Давай поговорим о твоей лачуге. Нет, не хочу с вами разговаривать о его лачуге. Кто ты такой вообще?
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I.
Я заметил.
Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Kuno doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that buck shit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying. Trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
Watch out, Kuno. He's trying to fiddle you. He's gonna put his hands on you.
Существо за забором начинает верещать.
Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
Help! He's got the Kuno, help!
Просто ответь на
Help!
вопросы.
He's digging his dick out!
Если бы я достал, ты бы уже обосрался.
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in here in Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here?
Как вот до этого
How
дошло?
did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
Я бы мог ему, конечно, треснуть, но пока что не очень хочу. Ты сейчас на наркотиках?
Help! Misters, help!
Понятно.
He's flashing Kuno! He's showing his genitals! If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late!
Ты себя логичный
Fucking
парень.
logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling Kuno!
Сраный цирк.
No!
Ладно.
Look, I know you wanted to hit me.
И я
You
очень
got
хочу.
that? I'm
Пункт у меня
gonna
в
fuck
руках.
that Kuno up, look. The Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look.
Relax. He can't read your mind. There's a dead body, remember? That's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
Да и как мне к этому вернуться? Я хочу вернуться к этой мысли. Откуда ты знаешь, что ты можешь? Может, ты хотел врезать? Но не врезал же.
I know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know what? You should have, because now you're nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
No, you're not. We can just leave.
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
Okay, Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this changes shit.
Click, 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 click!
Что ты знаешь об этом трупе?
Shitload pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there, and the usual.
Как он попал на это
Probably
дерево?
climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking Mesk or I don't know. Some other
Night
place.
City?
Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City. Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. Kuno didn't smoke the gimp, if that's what you meant.
Thanks, Kuno. That's one name you can now cross off the list.
Так, где остальная
Kuno
броня?
doesn't give a shit about the armor.
В смысле?
Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. Look at him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
В смысле выбросил?
Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing
Ой,
to Kuno.
дурак.
Yeah, that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate.
Трубадура?
Yeah, cock in boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit? Came around so yeah, he's the one you wanna talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows.
Yes,
Понятно.
this troubadour has it. You can feel it.
Так, ты знаешь, кто это
Kuno's
был?
fuck gimp. Kuno uses the fuck gimp for target practice.
Понятно.
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt. That seems pretty fucking...
Yeah, you tell the faggoty, Kuno!
You're testing...
Get lost,
Выяснить, что творится с этим пацаном. Ладно.
Kuno doesn't fuck...
Да, да, я вижу, что тебе насрать настолько. Так, животное с той стороны.
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
Угу.
I'm going away for a long, long time.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Что тебе за странные слова? Девочка Дитя, поговори со мной.
Murder was the case they gave me.
Понятно. Здесь мы ничего не знаем. Ладно, Ким, потопали. Нам здесь делать больше нечего от слова совсем. Ну что, встали? Так, нам надо вернуться к этому чуваку. Ух ты, какой-то новый перец появился. Ничего не хочешь мне рассказать? Ну, логично, что. Так, я пришел это самое вернуть. Ключик. Вот ключ мусорного бака.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
Шмотки
How
покойного.
strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
У кого-нибудь есть еще ключи от
The
бака?
trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that's so... Thank you anyway.
Понятно. Ты ничего с твоих сотрудников мог выбросить?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. Yes.
Ладно. Тогда до свидания. Так, что это у вас? Кухонька открылась все-таки. Да, внутри. Что это такое? Служит стоит посуда, но пахнет мощностью станковой. Что у вас тут такое? Денежка. Матовый специя алкоголь и помидоры. Пропак.
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. This must be the Whirling's cook. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are Garanzi and Kubek.
Гораций.
Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garanzi Kubek. Please. It's not funny. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
Может, он не понимает?
He
что
smiles
это?
and bangs his ladle. It's almost like music.
Может, он глухой? Так,
You
это
see
что?
a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue
Я
is
вернусь
for
здесь,
mystery.
помни мое слово.
The
Потрогай.
cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. The door does not budge.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads?
Может, оно куда-то ведет?
Yes, I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough. As a side investigation.
Стороннего.
Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Так, мужик, у меня все-таки еще один вопрос есть. Что насчет двери?
Can I help you?
Так,
Thing.
там все, что стало зарезервировано для профсоюза.
Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction.
Понятно.
They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types. Think they're
хорошо.
big shit. But they're good customers. They place big orders and always pay on time.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth.
Мгм.
We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later.
Понятно.
There are these things called days. You sleep between them. He's saying they'll come after you've slept.
Понятно.
Just making clear you got that.
Oh yes, that door, sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door.
Ключ есть?
No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just a frit warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference.
Мне
It's
кажется, я самому
absolutely
интересный
not.
чувак.
Fine, okay, a little. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the caps. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals. And I haven't...
Понятно,
What?
короче.
By the way, You should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Так, бесить я его, полагаю, это совершенно бессмысленно. Ладно, Ким, тогда пошли. Осмотрим другие части локации. Такс, у нас есть открытка всего лишь и фотография. Крутейший автобус. Так, знаете, кто сходит, следует танцы, где остальные части брони, кто сложил одежду в мусор. Можно было бы познакомиться с спортивным журналом.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it? It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is an aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
Как мне его прочесть?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many years you've been on the force, he's thinking.
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do. All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
Понятно.
This means you can read.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the acidic stench of rotting, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discrete, or Axel, or something. If you knew it was dunked in the toilet before getting chucked into the trash, why are you sniffing it?
Просто мой фетиш.
Torturing your own nose for no reason is not conducive to case cracking, but your nose is somewhere between grateful. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escape. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, case files, commit, work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not complete. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. There is, for precisely 1 more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording, inspect the get the body down, interview the cafeteria. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of a satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done. It's things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
No, actually. Any ideas?
Закатное солнце, говно на палке. Повешенный просто.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Твое дело в неделю, это нормально?
2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me.
Я наверняка совсем
That's okay. We all do, sooner or later.
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense. if mostly illegible. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers.
Так, смотрите,
It's
планшет.
made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. And something small inside. Light, made of paper or cardboard, or dried flowers pack. Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable materials that would get damaged. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot... Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
В смысле, как его
With
открыть?
your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
Ну, давайте откроем, почему бы нет?
Is not
Laser.
what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some,
Эх,
then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly afraid of you for some reason.
ну, в принципе, ничего большого такого. Так, прочитайте введенные знаки. Мгм. Так, и у нас есть еще очко навыков, получается, да? Повышение уровня. Держит электрохимия, грубая сила, болевой порог. Ну, здесь, кстати, нация восприятия. Может, нюх не упустить ни одной детали. Я думаю... логику прокачать. Да, почему бы и нет. Так, ладно. Идем тогда этот, скажите, я скажу. Осматривать журнал наш. Ну, чё? Ставься. Или он только в левую руку ставится? Одежда, взаимодействие, вот, журнал. Да что? Он выскальзывает из-за банана? Нет, или я еще не полностью с ним взаимодействовал?
In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red.
Понятно. Что мы оторвали и
Then
переделали?
rip them from the binder and hand them out. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Вскрытие
A
на
dozen
месте.
pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station, but all in a print so small it could be considered downright a monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 2. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms. The rest of the stinking cellulose.
Понятно. Так, ну что, теперь я его могу поместить? Или мне надо, эти, скажите, скажу, перчатки снять? Могу действовать? Вот. Нет, походу я ничего не сделал. Ну, ладно, такс. Надо, наверное, сохраниться. Так, не. Эть. Странно, почему-то не могу перетащить его. Ну, ладно, не в баке, ну, в принципе, ладно. Такс.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and
Взять рацию.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Надо пробить номер ботинок.
Sure, officer. What's the number?
Вот это.
Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
Перезвоните завтра,
Was
ладно.
there anything else?
Так, па-па-пам.
57th, over and out.
in the cabin, you see a set of steering levers.
Ким, как включить
All
фары?
right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
Давай.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. Like a
Понятно.
the lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done.
Угу. Да ладно уж, можно было бы не так сильно хлопать. Все, я теперь могу воспользоваться этим журналом-то. Чтобы изучить книгу, воспользуйтесь Да, но я не хочу воспользоваться, я хочу... Этот, скажите, я скажу. Поставить...
Arson, petty theft,
Это да.
yes. A
752.
title, one might say even. Yes, all caps. One is caught, others
дела,
appear
которые я
more
вел?
light-hearted. The guy's on a couch in an
дела, они-
unexpected location, and the murder at the... It's going to take an effort to piece these case files.
Так.
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things.
Кажется, я назвал дело
Again,
квадратной
in your
пулей.
defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. It was a real person. His death was real. Still, I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
You don't
Бивает.
exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
ГДБ. Современный разведывательный код офицер
Yes,
участок.
you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41, then date of initialization and time of arrival. Why, your precinct number,
ГДБ.
every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
HDB. Грамм Дарьян Беринджер. К ним мои инициалы не отзываются. Ягор.
That is improbable. It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
Ой, а можно не
Not
читать
much has
стих?
changed in...
Я просто хотел попробовать положить этот... скажите, я скажу. Справочный журнал. Ну, нет, так нет. Так.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable.
Демоны этой
Let me
штуки.
see. Right here.
Какая сраная дыра.
It has its problems.
Посмотрим
There are
перфорацию.
many of them, and they are divided into three
Кстати,
separate...
дырочки в
The
каждом.
first row has 18 dots.
А в следующем?
The next is the longest. There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least.
И в
The
последнем.
last row has 3 perforations.
всё?
That's it.
Слушай, Ким, нафиг за меня столько дырок?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Давай.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years.
О,
Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
я жил под лодкой, работал в какой-нибудь конторе, перевел бумажки, как все остальные.
No shame in working a regular job, detective. Sometimes after a long day of doing this, I even envy it. Let's move on, shall we?
Давай.
This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, wow, more than 200.
Больше 200! Нифига себе.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
Мгм. Так, я был
Right.
хорош.
Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3
Три? Я
perforations.
3 человек замочил. Честно думал. Значит, я
For an
убийца.
RCM officer, especially Precinct 41,
Ah,
which
it's
is in the
probably
Jamrock
that.
quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
Окей.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
Мгм.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Тебе когда-нибудь приходилось убивать?
Yes.
Yes.
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Может, мне тоже надо найти себе?
Why not gardening? You've already got the yellow gloves.
Да, я их, правда, снял.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
Окей.
The lieutenant nods.
Ладно.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
Окей. Нужно прочитать водяные знаки. Так, где мои перчаточки чудные? Все. Идем бомбить дальше. Что ж, что у нас тут есть? Узнаете информацию о серийном номере, выбитом на броне жертвы. Угу, на следующий день. Закройте шлюз. Знаете, карта. Нифига себе. Это вот мне все вот это вот придется оббегать рано или поздно. Это нехило, между прочим. Я так чувствую, это прохождение затянется надолго. Эмпатия легендарна, скуна. Все, что я могу опробовать. Опасно. Разбитое окно. Просто. Угу. Настолько просто, что я облажался. Ладно. Я еще... Что такое? Книга человека с хемором. Теоретическая сначала. Ну и фиг с ней. Так, я не ходил в эту сторону. Что у нас тут может быть? Птица. Сидит птица. Зачем тут сидишь, птичка? Ну пофиг, птичка пофиг совершенно. Так, там какие-то эти хламины. Тут что у нас? Я могу просто замериться со стеной?
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Невозможно. Значит, я могу пробовать тогда. Так, вот этот шкет. О. Еще что-то. Деньга. Тенге. Так. Риторика и скорость реакции. Шапка бомжа. Клево. Что это такое? Здесь заперто, очевидно. Угу. Понятно. Так. Тут стоит. Уличек наверху может быть свидетелем. Мужик, у меня есть
You
пара
see a young
вопросов.
man on a balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Что ты там
Not
делаешь?
looking for any trouble, officer.
Не ищешь проблем? Проблем не доставлю, просто хочу выяснить, что происходит.
I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your
А вот жандармы
witness.
хотят
Is it
поговорить.
really that important?
Да.
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Как тебя зовут?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
Действительно, прям
Martin
сходится.
Martinez? Good local name. Let's go with that.
Ладно. Мартин.
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
Скоро.
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Нет.
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynch?
No,
Okay.
not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look,
No.
You didn't answer the question.
I had a friend over.
Что
It
за
was
друг?
my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend.
Весьма любопытно.
How intriguing. He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint reflections of his silhouette.
И все.
I'd even go so far as to say,
Ah.
We will.
oh,
Wait, is someone else
Я точно не
no,
спрашиваю.
not you.
And when did you speak to?
Last week?
You didn't.
It was my...
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint
Ладно, хрен с
reflections.
тобой.
No. We won't.
В смысле?
Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Ну-ка, остался.
Time to bring out your secret charm. Tears and begging. Show him your emotional side. Throw yourself before his very feet like a dog.
Ты меня довести
No,
хочешь?
for God's sake, I don't want you to cry. Listen, I really have to go.
Ah, there it goes. Wasted.
Good luck with the investigation.
Засранец. И утопал. Блин, уже 4 этих часа дня. А мы тут с тобой ходим, Ким.
He's gone.
Надо
No
побежать за
point
ним.
in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he could be a witness, him or his, there has to be a way of getting inside the building.
Мгм. Так, что... Опаньки, что это у нас тут такое? Ким?
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of... There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This
Huh.
must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. We'll just have to go in and see.
Ну окей. Мы так и сделаем. Так, это внутренности здания. Там какое-то ведерко стоит. Кладовка? Ага. Такие аудитор. Плюс койки, минус к авторитету. Окей. Так, тут у вас что? Старая обувная полка, ботинки, кроссовки, старые тапочки. 3 разных размеров. Там, видимо, семья живет. Тут у нас что? Так, что за дверь? Ага. Плитковый контур покрыт самым настоящим мхом. Так, о, отлично. Красного командора нашли. Какая-то слизь, я даже не хочу знать. Там, кстати, какой-то этот объект доступа есть. Судя по всему, в квартиру можно вломиться. Ну или как минимум войти по-человечески. Откройте, полиция. Чё, мы туда не войдем сегодня? Пропажи? А, ну, это фигня. Так, что-то боты. В ботинках была это деньга. Что было?
This door has been closed with a padlock. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of it.
Пора делать чик-чик.
You seem committed to it, so go on.
Давай.
The shackle snaps like a twig.
After you, detective.
Давай. Не уверен, было ли у нас на это право без ордера и всего остального вламываться в чужую хату. Ну, что ж. Так, 9-миллиметровый патрон. Ух ты, одежка. Надо будет посмотреть сейчас, что у меня нашел. Книги с критической теорией о ужасе капитала. Ну, коммунизм, короче говоря. Революционеров. Яркий плакат с белой звездой. Настоящая литография. Нет, что такое? Это...
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
Кто такой?
He's known as the father of scientific communism, also known as Masovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say sparked, the anti-centennial revolution.
Понятно.
The White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
Понятно. Вломились в хату к коммунисту. Ну что ж, это интересно. Так, что тут? Еще деньги, отлично. Есть кто
You
дома?
hear someone walk. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to the door. You can feel tension on the other side.
Еще
A
раз.
poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is
Полиция.
barely...
А я обязан открывать? Ну,
Let's go.
It's generous.
ладно. Так, дверь в квартиру 9 заперта. Бабуль. Чё как? Квартира 8. Зош, мне интересно было. Так, можно вылиться в одну сторону, можно вылиться в другую. Это что? Опечатаем по решению... А, понятно. Здесь кто-то что-то опечатал. Собственно, заполнен по-зимнему серым. Нормально, там как дыра. Кто-то, очевидно, быстро пытался смотаться. Но мы все же заберем.
What happened here?
Можете печатать. Это печально.
Put your emotions aside. Try to focus on abstract, impersonal. But this reeks of sadness. It will still be accessible through the apartment next to it. That indeed.
Действительно. Ну, холодильник-то мы уже облутали. Ладно. Бабуль, что ты нам можешь сказать? Что написано? Отряд для расстрела богачей. Ну понятно, тут коммуняры живут.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
Бабуль, может
I'm
врача?
fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
Туберкулезная бабка.
Now, what do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residence.
I'm no one. Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Вы здесь живете?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's... Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry.
Нет, вы не поняли, я ищу человека.
Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez.
Меня
Like
обманули.
Jim Jamrock or Raoul Ravageur.
Oops. You really didn't get the joke there.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
Ну, у
Yes,
нас есть его
yes.
описание.
I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil. Right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
Ничего, просто мне надо поговорить с ним.
Talk? He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on
У
the
меня есть еще
balcony.
пару вопросов.
See if he's home.
Ask away, policeman.
Кто жил в
The
печатной
hell am
квартире?
I supposed to know? Another nut job, I assume.
Почему там дыра?
Some lunatic lost his mind. All kinds of morons pass through these halls.
Кто живет в 10-й
No
квартире?
one lives there. It's been empty for months.
Ну я с кем-то говорил через дверь.
Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there.
Huh.
Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look. Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. Oh, that one is a scientist. A future scholar.
Да.
I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them to study.
Астрология?
Something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of what now?
Коммунизм, ну, знаете, это мировая революция. Поддерживает рабочий класс в борьбе против капитала. Идеология есть благородные цели, но... Еще она не сводит не то, что... Коммунизм.
Never heard of it.
Понятно. Кто-то из жильцов уезжал в отпуск?
People come and go. I don't...
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
Ну все,
Oh, no.
понятно. Бабуля явно не в себе. Так, тут еще ящик был. Вот этот вот почтовый ящик он подразумевал. Так, открытка. Ну ладно. Так,
You hear someone walking around inside,
от нее самого.
rearranging.
Прошу прощения, разумеется,
You
нет.
have plenty of reason to enter.
У тебя множество причин, чтобы зайти. Мне не нужен ордер, если я подозреваю проникновение. Вы что там варите? Морфий? Ой, да ладно вам, повисает пауза, потому что слышка проворачивается за
That was smart.
Ловко. Ну. А, женщина какая-то. Я заберу, да? Ничего страшного, нет? То есть все нормально, да? Боже, неплохой матрас. Не будь идиотом, аж слышно, как внутри копошатся насекомые. Чит, блистер таблеток, возьми его. Ничего, да, тоже ничего страшного. Тебя не напрягает девица.
Satisfied? My name
Довольно.
is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have every right to be here.
Хорошо.
Boy, there are a lot of different keys there. More than 20.
Квартиру
at least.
продаешь?
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
Почему бы и нет?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's a picture of her with shorter hair inside, along with all her personal details.
Ну ладно.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour.
Что вы здесь
Oh,
делаете?
that's
Кто там
another
жил?
huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on auctioning off the valuables, but...
Но.
And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. And there's a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
Понятно.
The sum must have been puny.
Это в какой-то мизерной сумме. Я, похоже, тоже потерял деньги. Вряд ли он задолжал вам какую-то сильную сумму. Квартирка-то так себе.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay.
Да,
I'll
да,
tell
да.
you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those... Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how... Both apartments are now unrentable. Both.
Ты-то что здесь делаешь?
I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant completely trashed the place.
Кто здесь жил?
It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
A sudden serious look crosses her face.
То есть это
This
был печальный
story
конец.
didn't ever happen.
А не владелицем этой квартиры был тот чувак, который висит там.
But that was months ago. Of course.
Ну ладно. Фиг с тобой. Тогда мы, в общем-то, поползли. Так, здесь можно выйти и здесь. Давайте посмотрим, что можно здесь найти. Так, что тут такое? Кто-то есть. Что-то есть. Какая-то женщина еще стоит. Ящичек. Сверху хлопает на ветру брезент, ржавеет забитые молотки и гвозди. Окей. Деньги. Ну, заржавел, войти не получится. Стул новый, хотя там кто-то живет. Туда, я так понимаю, не попасть. Это этот, что скажу. Бутылка. Бутылка для сбора. Да. Тара. Интересно, сколько тары я там пропустил. Ну, мы там все равно пройдем обратно.
Ruination has come. The broken arches betray the once grand history of this building. It towered over the harbor.
Пробуй
A
догадаться.
great force from the northeast fired into the city. Heavy artillery shelled the coastline. Fired from the water. A straight shot. The tenement acted as a defensive wall against the worst of the shelling, until it was destroyed, and they had a direct firing line. Those arches acted as support for something great. Only 3 stories stand where 9 to 12 once did. A fleet, the combined armies of Occident and Grad, with Mesk volunteers, a 5-nation army. They massed airships further down, in the Bay of Revachol. The artillery was so powerful. The ships not only required gyroscopic, many are still there to this day. If you squint, you can just barely see the shadow on the water, far in the northeast.
The Coalition. but that was a long time ago. I think we should move on. It's chilly up here.
The waves of the Martinez Inlet roll over the fallen remains of the building. What didn't fall into the ocean was used as scrap. What wasn't used...
Понятно. Так, слушай, что там мелькает? Предметы. А, ну это всего лишь эта картинка. Оранжевая бомжовская шапочка. Очки с такими линзами. Так. Ну, минус, смотри, богемный утырок, возможно, наркоман. О! А мой что добавляет? Полицейскую волну добавляет, это добавляет концептуализацию. Круто. Я поменял сразу же. Плюс 1 способом косвенного налогообложения. Нет, спасибо, меня и мои устраивают. Текст. Там стоит человек, есть еще одна дверь. Сначала, я думаю, надо заглянуть в дверь. Так, что у нас тут? Есть какие-то решеточки. Это какая-то котельная. Деньга. Штаны. Клево. Сотни крошечных лапок, там сюда. Городские крысы. Здесь кто-то спал, причем недавно. Девчонка снаружи. Ну да, я говорю, там стоит туловище. Угля хватит не на одну зиму. Я не могу спереть здесь ничего больше. И это все? Ха, странно. Ну ладно.